Well, game one of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Cavs and the Hawks kicks off tomorrow night. The Hawks won 3 of the 4 meetings this year, including a 29-point win in Cleveland back in December. One of the question marks, though, heading into the series was the health of one Kyrie Irving. He spoke on it yesterday.
Feeling great. Just last few days of treatment, rest, being able to actually, feel both my feet underneath me, especially when I'm shooting, it feels amazing. Just the confidence of, getting extra work in and actually preparing with my teammates. I think that's the biggest thing I get out of it is just, you don't want to be on the sideline at all, especially when you're preparing for such a big stage like this. So I want to be as close to 100% as I can be before Wednesday. So just doing the necessary things in order to do that.
Legs, the series may be over already. He has a headband as well.
I see that.
It's a wrap.
I see that. All those guys are wearing them.
Listen.
Look like they're returning from the Civil War.
Listen, it's serious. So who wins the series?
I think I see a really tight series, like each game being close. But I give the edge to Cleveland. I think they can win this in 6 games because they've got the 2 most important players in this series, and I'm talking about Tristan Thompson and Timothy Mozgov.
Oh. Uh-oh.
And I say that somewhat in jest. You thought I was going to say LeBron and Kyrie. Yeah. Clearly, they have the best player in the series in LeBron, and I thought his physicality in the first 2 rounds was in not settling for the shot that opponents want him to take and dominating you in the lane and at the rim. He's going to do that again in this series. But when I talk about Tristan Thompson and Timothy Mozgov, they have transformed this team from a mediocre at best defensive team at the start of the year and probably up to midseason to now what I saw in the Chicago series, a team that's capable of playing championship caliber defense. And they get them a lot of second shots. The energy that Tristan Thompson has in getting second shots and protecting the rim and Mozgov's rim defense and his tap-out offensive rebounds, they're demoralizing to you. And they demoralized Chicago in Game 6. And that's why I think now I look at them differently. I didn't think they could beat Chicago without Kevin Love, especially if you told me Kyrie Irving was going to be limited. I said, no way they beat the Bulls. Their defense was so good in that series that now I look at them differently, that even with limitations offensively, or if certain guys don't play well, their defense is going to give them a chance to win every game, and I think ultimately they get it done because LeBron James is going to be the best player on the floor. We know that.
First things first, was it their defense in that Chicago Bulls series or Chicago's offense?
Both. I mean, I took the Bulls to task, and Tom Thibodeau in particular, after the last game because of how stagnant they were, how one-dimensional, ISO heavy. Yes. That's not who they are. And he had a lot of weapons this year offensively. So it was both
on the bench.
But Cleveland was suffocating the lane in that series. The way they were flying through the ball was impressive. Right.
I will say this. I think the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to win this series in 6. It could potentially go 7. Atlanta, it is time that I stand up and give them their respect.
Yes.
They won 60 games this year. You were raving about them all year long. They play together. They play unselfishly. They play team defense. They get up in you. They're not scared. They trust one another. And what makes them dangerous, Skip, is that they're a team that knows they are devoid of that one superstar. They don't have that guy when all else fails, here's the ball, take me to the promised land. So they literally go by the feel of the game, what's going on that particular day, who we're going to go with, or they just trust one another and just give it to the open man. I am picking Cleveland because I believe it'll go back and forth. It'll be nip and tuck. But whether it's a Game 6 or a Game 7, in the end, you're talking about a tight series. You are devoid of that go-to guy, that one individual. And the Cleveland Cavaliers have the best player in the world. I can't bet against LeBron James against Atlanta. You're not San Antonio. You're not Tim Duncan and Manu and those. You're the Atlanta Hawks. There's nobody on their squad that has been in this moment. Not even Al Horford. And you know how we both feel about Al Horford. So because there's nobody that has been there, I can't go with that. Now, what I will say about Atlanta is this. They have a legitimate home crowd this year. I got to cover that series for SportsCenter. They got a legitimate home crowd.
You're going to be there?
The whole series. I'll be at the games count, baby. I'll be there in the house. I'll be in the house. All right, but the point that I'm trying to make is that that whole series, when you look at them, I'll say this, they have a legitimate home crowd now, which was not the case in the past. They are no joke in that regard. And on top of it all, Budenholzer knows how to coach against LeBron.
He does.
Because of coaching under Popovich. I got to watch those things, which is why I believe this could get serious and potentially even go 7 because of Budenholzer. But they got to execute. And it's against LeBron. And if Kyrie is healthy enough, oh, it's a wrap. Ain't no way they're losing if Kyrie's healthy. But if he goes down and it's just LeBron, it could get very interesting.
Could be. I'm going to make it unanimous, Cavs in 6, but I'm with you. I won't at all be shocked if this goes 7 games. I have gained respect by the game for this Atlanta Hawks team. And speaking of the greatest player in the world, the best player on the planet, what has Coach Pop always done against LeBron?
Did him to shoot.
Just keep him out of the lane and make him shoot those threes. What did he go against Chicago? 3 for 28 from 3. That's 11%. He cannot get away with that against these guys. It won't work because they're going to be making their threes because they live and die by the threes.
Well, Horford did go over. It won't happen again, but 0 for 7 in the last game from 3.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, though. What impressed me about Atlanta in the last series, Washington went literally no help responsibility to take him out of the series, and in large part they did, and they still won. Now, I know Washington didn't have John Wall. It's an enormous loss.
Right.
But the fact that their offense still functioned well enough to win with Korver basically taken out of it was impressive.
Let me come back right at you, though. Here's why. You're not wrong, but you left out a lot. Here's what I'm going to get to with you on. You brought up Moskov. You brought up Tristan Thompson. You know good and damn well Nene. There's still an APB out for Nene.
Yeah.
He didn't show up that last series. Other than game 3, he was nowhere to be found. Ernie Grunfeld and them still probably want to slap him upside his head.
Oh, wait, I do have a quick question for both of you. Now, you both say Cavs in 6, which I said as well. But you said it could go 7, so you automatically dismiss Atlanta in a home game?
I'm not automatically dismissing.
So if it gets to game 7, are you going to look at it differently?
I'm still picking Cleveland, but only for one reason. I can't believe that LeBron is going to be in a game 7 against guys who've never been there. And with a game to go to the NBA Finals. They've never been in that position, and LeBron is going to lose to them. If they had Tim Duncan, that would be different. But not, I can't give, LeBron's supposed to win that game 7 against those guys.
I would love to see it.
Yeah, that's it. You leave it right there. Legs. I'll see you on the road in the finals.
You got it. I'll see you out there.
Yeah, stay out of trouble.
All right, I will.
Coming up next, folks, we're talking about Brady and Jordan. No problem. No trouble for him. Brady, Jordan hanging out once again. What does it mean? We're going to get to the bottom of it after the break. Stick around, folks. Be right back.
I want you to know that it's our time.
First Take is presented by Chase, celebrating small business. Learn more at chase.com/small business week. And in part by Dave & Buster's. Eat, drink, play, watch sports.
If you were hoping that Tom Brady was going to stop his life over Deflategate, well, think again. According to the Boston Herald, Tom and Giselle were in the Bahamas over the weekend to attend a wedding, and Tom found some time to get away and play golf with one Michael Jordan. It's the second time the duo has teamed up at Baker's Bay in the last couple of months, and like Luke Donald and Keegan Bradley Instagrammed the photo of them with MJ and Brady before the Masters. They are besties now. I don't know. Great to track great. Stephen A., what's going on here?
Winners hanging out with one another. I have no issue with it. Tom Brady, regardless of Deflategate or whatever the case may be, he's a 4-time Super Bowl champion, one of the greatest quarterbacks to have ever played in the NFL, in NFL history. He's a winner, and he's hanging out with a winner and enjoying his off season. And regardless of how disgusted he might be from this whole process, which he has helped to inflict upon himself, by the way, at the very least with uncooperative tendencies, in the end, he still is Tom Brady. He's in appropriate company.
Okay.
So I guess Michael Jordan doesn't believe that Tom Brady is a liar and a cheater, right?
Well, Skip, shoot, I would golf with Tom Brady.
You would?
I mean, what's
you would play golf.
What I'm trying to say to you is, what's the big deal? I would play golf.
Yeah.
What's the big deal?
I don't like people saying golf as a verb.
Why?
It just shows you don't play.
Well, Tom Brady, he's right about that.
Yes.
But Tom Brady, I mean, look, come on, man. I mean, everyba's the guy. Let him live his life.
Enjoy your life.
Still a good guy.
Ring thing.
It's
Still
a ring.
good guy.
MJ and Tom in the Bahamas. We won't be in the Bahamas. We'll be here tomorrow.
Well, y'all won't be.
It ain't
I might show up.